All right, well, welcome everyone. My name is Donna McDonald. For those of you that I haven't personally met, I want to say welcome to the call. I'm your National Executive Director, and your director team and I are here to support you on your, we're not going to say transition, but your growth to the next level. So maybe you are a brand new director, or maybe you're a director who is looking to double their business. And that's what this is really about. We know that the sales requirement for directorship is 5,000. So this is all about doubling your business. So as I said, whether you're a fast track director, brand new to Pampered Chef, or you're a veteran, this is going to be your group that is going to support you along the next 6 weeks. And that's probably, our calls will be until December 20th with different topics, but you're always welcome to come back and join the fun. So I have two of our directors here from our team. So I would love each of you to introduce yourself, tell us your name, where you live, and who your director is, so that we can honor you. So let's go ahead and start with Kelly, since you're off mute.
Okay, I'm Kelly Boyd, and I'm in Pearland, which is just south of Houston, and Lori Summers is my upline.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Kelly. We're excited to have you on the call series. Great. Thank you. All right, and Amy?
Hi, yes, I'm Amy Cochin, and I am in Wilmington, North Carolina, and Jamie Swanson is my director.
Okay, great. Welcome. Welcome, both of you. Thanks for coming on live. And we will be recording these calls because it is during a lunchtime that we're hoping may work out for some. And but you know that you can always come back and refer to maybe the information that we're covering. So with that said, the first thing that I'd like to ask is, do you have any, current challenges or things that you're like, okay, if I could just overcome this, I feel like, that next step in my business would be easy peasy. So anyone want to jump out and just talk about some of your current challenges?
I guess just in general, having enough parties to fill a calendar. I'm still, it just seems like you ask so many people and, just barely get any. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of people before very much longer. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Kelly, how long have you been a director?
A week.
Okay, well, awesome. Good job. And Kelly, that's a very common concern for new directors, because often, the people that are new to your team were hosts who you gave all your parties to. So now you're like, oh my gosh, was this a good thing? And it's just is about getting that momentum and making sure that you're always building your personal business. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay. All right, Amy, any questions or concerns for you?
I haven't been getting as many bookings off of my virtual parties as I would like. So I'd love to hear what works best and what maybe I could do better with that.
Okay, great. So just trying to give you a highlight of what we'll be discussing in this call series. So we're going to be talking about consultant engagement, getting your team members on board. We'll be talking a little bit about culture. We'll also be talking about how to coach your consultants. We'll be talking about time management as well as recruiting. But every call will also be talking about bookings and continually adding those bookings to your calendar. So we just want you to know that this is going to be your support system, as I said. So let's go ahead and get started with our first call. I wanted to just give you a highlight of what you can expect and kind of go from there. So let me go ahead and screen share, and we'll go ahead and we will get our slideshow started. Okay, so as I said, this is all about going from a $5,000 a team, a month team to a $10,000 a month team. And today we're going to focus on the RSVP model, and we're going to talk about driving company promotions and keeping them in front of your team. We're in our busiest selling season, and this is the best time to really re-promote yourself, as well as we'll talk a little bit about looking for the diamonds within your team. So you want to think about business now, not only as a consultant. So whatever, maybe you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've heard that idea before. So you want to think of it not as a consultant, but as a consultant and as a leader. So yes, I've applied this principle to my business. Now I have to think about how do I apply it to my team? And it's a little bit of a shift in mindset, you know, when that happens, because now all of a sudden you're the mama bear, you know, and before, you know, you were one of the three bears. And so it was a little bit easier to just, you know, work your business. Now, as I said earlier, though, we always want to focus on our personal business first, and that is what's key. But let's just talk a little bit about the RSVP model, and it really is key to leadership. So the R stands for recruiting, the S stands for sales, the V stands for very new people, and the P are for the performers on your team. Okay, so you know, type in the chat box what you know, where you're at right now, or what you love, I should say, about recruiting. What do you love about recruiting? Okay. Okay, so Amy has, you know, excitement from new consultants. If you want to come off of mute, Kelly, and just share it out loud, that would be great.
Oh, I'm
what do you
off of mute, I guess. Just, you know, I mean, I love having more people to share with, and obviously more sales because there's more people.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Okay. So yeah, recruiting is really, you know, one of the obviously focuses that we want to look at, because what new team members will do is they will inspire you. They will keep you excited, and they'll energize you, because as you go through, you know, leadership, you know, you're focusing on, you know, basically, you know, I'm selling, I'm recruiting, you know, I'm trying to keep all the train on the track. So you have to look for that inspiration that keeps you moving forward every day. So the other thing that recruiting and new recruits will do is, one, that's what you need to do to get to the 10K. Okay, it's those new recruits and their sales that are going to get you to that 10K, but also your personal sales. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But what new recruits are going to do is they're going to keep you in the game. Okay, they're going to keep you moving forward, and they're going to encourage you and kind of, you know, push you to be a better leader, because you're learning alongside them. So maybe, you know, if you've been in the business over, you know, under a year, which you both have been, you know, I know it can be overwhelming. You're like, oh gosh, you know, I'm just learning this business myself, and now, you know, I'm showing someone else how to do it. So, you know, it's okay to, when you're recruiting, when you're reaching out, you know, working with those new consultants, is to also work with your upline director, you know, because it's always more fun to work as a team, and, you know, we all learn from each other, and that's what's key. So, so let's go ahead and just talk a little bit more about the sales. You know, the reality of it is, as a new director, you still will want to do about 75% of that 5,000 yourself. And I'm going to tell you, if you are doing the 5,000 yourself totally at this point, you're going to have enough, you're going to be in front of enough people that you're going to be able to recruit more. So remember the model, the 4, add 1 more, every 4 parties, you're going to add 1 more recruit. So when you are focused on $5,000, that's going to bring you to that $10,000 a lot faster because more people are going to be coming in. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now this month, we have an amazing November promotion. You know, our host special is all about, you know, our host can choose anything at 60% off. So we need to drive the promotion and help our consultants to understand what is being offered. New people who are learning the business, they will become overwhelmed with information. So you'll want to kind of disperse that information to your team in just little chunks. So if you're, and I'm going to show you, you know, some of the things that we can use that will help us give it to them in bite-sized pieces. But the first thing that we want to focus on, as well as what we want them to focus on, is going to be booking parties. And that's what we were both saying you were struggling with a little bit. So, you know, we want to go back and ask our customers what's on their wish list. You know, it doesn't matter this month what is on their wish list. Everything, they can choose one thing, you know, at 60% off. And then they can choose two things, you know, also when it gets to that 650 level. So this promotion is tailored to our entire market. It's not someone who just wants cookware. It's not someone who just wants, you know, the cooking blender. So you have to look at this as this really is an amazing opportunity to reach out to every person as long as we find out what's on their wish list. So what you'll want to do, and you'll want to encourage your consultants to do, is reach out to people and say, what's on your wish list for Pampered Chef? And then the second question is, wow, that is great, because this month you could get that at 60% off for booking a show. So first engage them and then offer them the carrot. Because if you say anything's at 60% off, first of all, they're not going to do the numbers. You're going to want to show them, here's what this product would cost now at 60% off. Okay, does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. All right. So you're going to go under marketing imagery, and for your team, you're going to see that marketing imagery is going to help you keep things relevant, and, you know, so that you can let them know, here's what you have to focus on. So example, you know, we're looking at the November marketing calendar. You can see that, you know, the 17th, you know, is obviously the Thanksgiving ground shipping cutoff. The 28th is Thanksgiving, you know, Black Friday, and then we have Small Business Saturday. So what ideas could you share with your team that would get them excited about promoting parties in November? So what are some things they could offer to their customer base? Anyone want to share? Okay.
I mean, they can start their Christmas shopping. Like you said, they get 60% off of an item.
Right. Okay. Yep.
They can miss the Black Friday craziness.
Okay. All right. So what you can do, I love those ideas. Thank you, Kelly. So you want to give them, you know, ideas that this is what, you know, you can post today. Here's what you can post about Black Friday. Here's what you can call, you know, because we don't always want to think about just using Facebook. We also want to be able to, you know, do that personal reach out touch. Okay. So Small Business Saturday, do small business with your local Pampered Chef consultants. Okay. So again, you know, making them relevant to what's happening by using all of the promotions that, you know, Pampered Chef is giving you. And as I said, this is under marketing imagery, and then your next click will be for your team. Okay. So if you haven't looked at those things, there's plenty there for you to use to market. All right. So next is giving them action steps daily. small pieces, and that's where you're going to want to use your stir. So you can see that there's a weekly action plan that the home office gives you. So 3 tips to find, hosts for the holidays. And then we have get attention on sales on social media, watch the new consultant success webinar. I would tell you, I don't care how long you're in the business, you all want to go ahead and listen to the playback of the new consultant success webinar. It's excellent, over the top. So right there, so if you have some, hey, everyone who listens to the new consultant success webinar, your name's going to go into a hat for a $5 Starbucks card. It doesn't have to be big rewards. So remember, it's just about getting them to engage. And when they engage and have listened to that, ask them to post a tip that they received from that new consultant success webinar. Don't just give them the call to action. Make it something that they have to do that will let you know that they watched it, but also everyone takes something different away from a call. So that's always a good idea, to do something like that. All right, so here's another idea with daily tasks. So giving them, make a 4 to 5, short video of you using a product. It can just be your hands. Something that's like a little bit of a stretch for them, go to Stir and find focus, on selling products, So you can see that you give them all little tasks to do each day, because it's not always about what they accomplish, but the movement towards it. So what do they do to work at getting shows on their calendar? Okay. All right. So that's basically it, is giving them, keeping them engaged by giving them daily tasks. Now, that's a little bit about how we can get bookings and how we can get sales. But we want to talk, so we talked about the R, which is recruiting. We talked a little bit about the S, which is sales. We want to talk about the V of RSVP, which it stands for very new people. Keeping very new people engaged is by really encouraging them right away to do the dash 1 through 10 training. Okay, you will know what they've done, obviously, by it tells you, at the end who has done what tasks. But also, I have found with my new consultants that it takes that phone call for them to understand how Dash works. So make sure with your very new people that you are having those phone calls for the for your training, which that is key. There is, if you have not seen this, I'm going to show you this. This will be the fast track. Are you seeing that? The fast track success system. Okay. So this will go through the calls for you and tell you what to refer to. So this is a really great tool, and just go ahead into the search bar and type in fast track success system, and it is 3 calls, and then if you have in-person, people doing in-person shows, there's 2 additional calls, because they would be about following up with their in-person parties. So great tool for you. I know that this is there. If you can't find it, just go ahead and message us and let us know that. Okay. So Dash is how you're going to keep track of those very new people, because those very new people are the people that are going to keep driving, your business. Okay. They're the ones that are going to be in front of a lot of people. They're going to be the ones that will need the most help initially. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, when you have them earn a good commission check in their first 30 days, they're going to stay with you. Okay. If you have those people that are saying, oh, I really want to wait till I get my kit first, or I really want to wait until, next week or this, ask for permission. Say, you know what? I would like to get permission from you to really push you hard in your first 90 days, even though you may have said, I only want to do 2 shows a month. I want you to take advantage of all of the amazing rewards that we have. After the 90 days, we'll reevaluate what you want from the business. But in the first 90 days, is it all right if I give you every tool that you need to be successful? And of course, they're going to say yes to you, because who doesn't want to get a paycheck? You know, yes, they may say that they want to come to the program to Pamper Chuck because of products, but they also need to get a paycheck. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit. Any other questions that you have about your very new people? All right. Okay. So let's talk about your performers. So the P in RSVP is about performers. And performers, and most people thrive on recognition. And recognition really builds momentum. Now, right now in November and December, we're earning new products. Okay, so again, goes back to those people who say they started because of the new products. This will definitely encourage people to get to those sales level. And I'm going to tell you is promote, especially in November, the $2,000 sales level, because the $2,000 sales level is the cover product. So you want to make sure that you tell them that, because you never want your new consultants to come back and say, well, I didn't know, I was at 1,800 and I would have gotten to 2,000 had I known. So you can post it, you can say it is common knowledge that at $2,000 you're going to get the new cover product. Okay, so recognition is key. It's you can do a post for qualifying in their first 30 days. You can do a post for those that are at the different sales level for earning new products, because what it does is it makes people feel valued. It makes them feel special, because most people do not get recognition for in a corporate job or if they're stay-at-home moms, and it just makes people feel good. So that's what's key. So you can see here, you can reward the different increments that they're earning at their 500, at their 1250, and so on, and what we call Candyland. You all know that reference to the Candyland of them earning the new products. Okay. All right. So recognition is key for those performers. All right. Now, any ideas? We kind of hope that these ideas are going to push your new people, but also your performers. And performers, are also working the business too. So they also need attention. What I said earlier, people want to feel valued. So spend time with your performers rather than trying to drag the ones along that aren't doing anything. Okay, that is just going to be, I'd like to tell you, that's going to change. But in my 30 years, I'm going to tell, it's just people are going to do what they want to do. You can try to inspire them. You can try to encourage them, but we are basically working with a volunteer army. And so when you have people coming in, you're going to have people going out. So it was really, really important that you keep that consistent recruiting happening. All right. So, your new people, they are going to be your performers. So you want to make sure that you're helping them focus on team building. You're helping them to find the sparklers within their parties. So you want to make sure that you're spending time with them. If you have somebody that was your personal recruit, and then someone recruited, and then they recruited someone, you want to treat everyone that is in your personal team, even though you may not have recruited them, as a personal recruit, because you never know when there could be a sparkler. Never assume that just because they sponsored them, they know how to train them. Okay, if they're on your personal team, you should step in and treat them as if they were a personal recruit, because you never know who's your next director could be. Okay, and often I can tell you in my personal experience, it's someone who I did not personally recruit. Okay, so reach out with a personal welcome, via phone call. Reach out, and it probably means, nowadays you're going to leave them a message, but as long as they hear your voice and then follow up with an email so you can let them know that, yes, we have a new consultant welcome call. Yes, we have virtual party training, and making sure that they're aware of the fast track rewards. Okay, any questions on that? All right, so let me go ahead and stop share and just talk with you for a few minutes about, maybe some booking ideas. What are some things that you feel like you've been trying at this point, and to add those shows onto your calendar?
I've tried the customer care emails and reaching out to my past customers. And I really don't think I've even made it through all of my Facebook friends yet. So I've been kind of trying to work on, initially I started with those that came to my launch party. So I've been trying to work on going back through and just reaching out to everyone.
Good idea, Amy. And I loved hearing that you were going back through your parties, because we have a tendency, especially as virtual consultants, is focusing on who was in the party, or people that filled out our survey. You want to make sure that you go back to people that ordered in your party. You want to also make sure that you are asking for referrals, and referrals are key. So if you are messaging someone and they're saying, I'm really not interested in hosting a party right now, so you know what, I'd love to send you a thank you gift or a referral gift if you know of a friend or family member who would be interested in some entertaining ideas and getting some free products. So referrals are also key to do that. And you know what, you have people that will be in your group, in your Facebook parties, that didn't ever say they wanted to have a party, but you know what, it's okay to reach back out to them also. Okay, so anyone that's ordered Pampered Chef is a customer. Okay, so you can go back, even though maybe they said not, they were interested right then, is saying, goes back to what's on your wish list, and then offering the 60% off carrot. Okay, thanks, Amy. All right, Kelly, anything that you'd like to share that you've been working on to get bookings?
No, that sounds like pretty much what I've been working on too, actually.
Okay, good. All right, so the thing is if you're sitting at home and you're not getting bookings, you need to leave the house. Okay, you need to go out to the grocery store. You need to go to all the places that you do business. If you have a consultant that's local to you, you can go out and have, if you're going to try to train someone, train them mirroring what you do. So example, you go out and you tell one of your consultants, hey, let's go out for coffee, or let's go out for lunch. You would show them what the steps you would need to take in order to book a party with a stranger or recruit a stranger. AKA, your waitresses are always your best recruit potentials. Somebody in the checkout line at the grocery store is always a great recruit potential. We know that they are working, unless they're in a fine dining restaurant, they're really kind of working to minimum wages. So it will force you, as I said, to be the best director possible, and you will do all the things that you need to do. So what I want you to think about this week is to make sure that, okay, so Amy said give an example. So if I was in a restaurant and I got great customer service, she was an awesome waitress, and I'd say to her, oh my gosh, you know what, thank you, you just gave us such great service today. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what I do. Have you ever heard of Pampered Chef? And they'll be like, oh yes, I've heard of Pampered Chef. Well, you know what? You are exactly what we're looking for on our team. Somebody who has great energy, a positive attitude, who also may be looking for a second stream of income. Pampered Chef could work alongside this job. Could I give you some information and follow up with you tomorrow to see what questions you have? And that's all that, I would say. I'd give her a little mini catalog, but of course we know the key is to gather her information so you can invite her. I always try to connect with her on Facebook, and I do that right there. So I would hand her my phone and say, show me where you're at, on Facebook, and I connect with her right then and friend her on Facebook. Okay. So, and then I say, okay, I'm going to invite you to an event we have on Wednesday evening, which I know is going to answer maybe some of the questions that you have. But I'm going to call you tomorrow. What time do you work till? So I kind of give her an idea and go from there. If I'm in the grocery store line, I don't know, but most grocery store clerks that I run into are not real happy with their job. So I, usually say, hey, you know what? I've been here and I've seen you in this, in the grocery store line, a few different times. I just really want to feel, I've always felt like I needed to tell you a little bit about what I do. And then I go into, same thing like I would say there. Have you ever heard of Camper Chef? Here's some information. We'd love to have you on the team, and go from there. If they say no, it's okay, but you have to keep engaging people. So if you bring your consultants along with you, like I said, the coffee shop, anybody that's in a retail environment, I ask, okay? You just never know is when you ask questions, and that's what is key, is asking the right questions so that you can engage them and it becomes about them and not about you. Okay? Does it help? Awesome. Okay, good. All right. So our next call will be November 15th, just next week. Crystal Jackson will be talking, Crystal will be talking a little bit about coaching with your new consultants. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please go ahead and let us know. Continue to build your own show schedule. Set a goal for how many shows you want to book, and you know what that means. That means 10 contacts minimum a day to be adding those parties to your calendar. So we talked a little bit today about going back to people who actually ordered. We talked a little bit about going back and asking for referrals, which are your two key things. Okay? Well, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And if you need anything before, just let us know.
Awesome. Thank you, Donna.
All right, nice to meet you, Kelly. You take care. All right,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye.